Good morning, Unrested. Good morning. Good morning, you weirdos. I am so grateful to be here this morning. Sincerely, just grateful. What a beautiful day. Everything about today is going to be gorgeous. It already is. Good morning, Brookie girl. Let's see if that's going to work for us. Good morning, Cinnamon girl. Hey, before we get started, I want to show you guys two things. Jesus Christ, you're a weirdo too. You see this? You see this jar? This was a jar. I've held on to it to show you. This is an example of that. At about 30%, my intern, Brock, who's wonderful, decided to break and shake. And I go and I'm checking the jars. I go, why is it not connected here anymore? Oh, I broke it and shook it at about 30%. I go, yeah, it didn't need it. We created this big, gigantic Grand Canyon in here by doing it. That Grand Canyon wasn't there before. Of course, this is just my doctrine to say you don't need to do it all the time. Okay? Eventually, we hope that this all catches up and all. But look. Don't do it if you don't have to. Don't do it if you don't have to. Sandy says just do it better. Pop says don't do it if you don't have to. Okay? That's just, So, what kind of music are we playing here this morning? What kind of music are we playing? Megas says it's just an improper one. Badger says smack it on the table. No, we have a tire. You have a tire and you hit the tire. You hit the jar on the tire when you want to break it up. Okay? 17 days. House music, reggaeton, pop music. Those are all very close. Very close. What kind of music are we playing? Coop, good morning music. What kind of music are we playing? House is a kind of an EDM, okay? Pop's pop music. It's Latin music. It's not Latin. It's not electric pop. EDM's so close. So close, Coop. We're looking for a type. Give me a genre. Genre. What kind of a genre are we playing this morning? It's not necessarily my favorite, but you have to be well-rounded. Techno pop, nope. Nope, it's royalty-free, hopefully. Yes, we did make sure of that. Okay, trance-ish, trance, house, baby making, national film score, house, jungle-ish, electro, LOL, lo-fi. I don't know what lo-fi is. Megas is a genius. I ain't disco. No, you ain't disco. Dubstep. Come on, guys. Now, I just went with what the page said, by the way. I'm not Mr. Musical Critic. So I just went with what the page said. I went to my list, I looked for a genre, and then I went over to YouTube and I said, put in the genre, give me a list of those. It's not disco. It's not electro pop. It is not. According to them. Ratcheton, dance, Ginger nailed it! Gingy! Ginger, yes, 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 yes. They call it dance music. It's called dance music. Ginger. Ginger's coming in strong. She was probably dancing to a lot of this at her wedding this weekend. See right here? They call it dance music. I looked up what's the best dance music. Okay, Ginger in the house. Okay, isn't all music dance music? But it's a genre, Ben. It's a genre. How'd you win? Here you go. Um, I wouldn't have guessed it either, Teeny. That's why I used it. I thought I'd stump you guys for the rest of the afternoon, or the rest of the morning, and we'd just get one question in one box, and we could all go home. Gingy, let's read an affirmation to you. My income is constantly increasing. I begin now today to open myself to ever increasing prosperity. It's beautiful. Ginger, I don't need your address. You just sent it to me this morning because Ginger, you guys, she's in the game. She ordered a bag of pop soil from us. There was only one reason Ginger could possibly want a bag of pop soil, and that's because I'm sure she's going to be growing her own now. But until yours is up, you still get, and that's exactly what you did. When you bought that pop soil, I'm not lying. You planted seeds of prosperity. Your chances of hitting the ground running are amazing. Boop, it's all ready for you. You put that in a tub and you're ready to go. So, you didn't even know it. You didn't even know it, but you're already planting your seeds of prosperity. In the meantime, you get a pack of these. And Jeff says she's going to be getting dirty. You get a pack of these, and you get a couple of grams of apes to go with it. Okay? Oh, Pops is like, is that enough of a box? No, it's not. Let's do this too. Let's give you these mango peaches. Mango peaches with 2 grams of supplements in there. Okay? Boom. That's going to you today. I don't need to tell you, but this is what the address is. But you don't have to send me an address. I already have your address today. Planted seeds of prosperity this morning already, little girl. Ginger, way to rock. Because Pops talked a lot for the last 3 or 4 days and didn't put out very much information. Today's going to be a little bit different. Today we've got to get a bunch of information out. One of them is, we just talked about the dance music, right? Don't we want to know a little more about dance music? Give me 5 people. Give me 5 people. Let's say, Pops, tell us a little more about dance music. Just a bit more. We'd like to know a little bit more about dance music. We learned yesterday about rhythm and blues, right? So today, let's learn a little about dance music. 10 people. No, 5 people. I only need 5. Unrested, 1. Trip and Vic. There's Trippy. How are you doing? 2. School us on dance music. Cinnamon's a dance choreographer. We should just let her do it, right? Kelly, dance, dance, dance. Smoldy, you're right. Knowledge is power. Actually, knowledge is freedom. Knowledge is freedom. Dance music. What is considered dance music? Dance music is music composed specifically to facilitate or accompany dancing. It can be either a whole musical piece or part of a larger musical arrangement. In terms of performance, the major categories are live dance music and recorded dance music. Then there's a small list here. The top 100 dance songs of all time. Oop, I shouldn't have told you guys that. I'm going to hit this list a little bit later. Dance songs, okay? Now I have to teach you guys a little more something else. And then we're going to talk about these weird jars that I showed you in the preview here to tea this morning when we were introing. Did anybody see those jars? Give me 10 people that said, Pops, explain those jars to us. What was that all about? What was that all about? Explain that. Pop a tab and dance all night. Gingy wants to know about them. I need 10 people to be interested in those jars. Okay? Pretty neat thing that we're doing there. Okay? Why? Why did I even bring it to the table this morning? Because it's neat to share this stuff. I want new techs. I want you guys to all try new stuff. Okay? Remember, aren't there 5 people here this week? 5 that are volunteers to be creative, over and above and beyond creative. Isaac, RX, Kim, Nervous, and Raman Effer. Isaac, RX, Kim, Nervous, and Raman Effer. You guys are some creative people. You're going to show us Friday. Guess what Isaac did? Guess what Isaac did? He's got creative already. He said, Pops, I can't be there Friday. He sent me a note. He goes, Pops, I can't be there Friday. I have an arrangement. But let me tell you my creative idea. He's already given us his creative idea. He knows what he's going to be doing, his creative. And I blessed it. I said, a good one. And you guys don't care, though. You guys don't care about it. If you guys cared about it, you'd be asking me. You'd be saying, hey, what was Isaac's creative idea? And then we only have 4 left for the week. But if you guys cared, you'd ask. JT does want to know? Wait, Kieran thinks I'm wrong? Kieran says wait till Friday and then tell? Or do I just tell now? What was Backwoods? Jerry wants to know. Sentiments, I want to know, dude. This is a rough week. Oh, Sammy, I'm sorry. Oh, Sam, I'm sorry. Let us know. What was his idea? Friday's the big reveal. I gave them till Friday to have their creative ideas together. But if they're going to shoot one in early, let's go ahead and let it out. He is going to begin his jiu-jitsu classes. He has made a commitment to go be a jiu-jitsu master. I love that. I want to be a jiu-jitsu guy. I do. I don't have the time. That is such a neat discipline. He's going to be creative. Go be jiu-jitsu guy. And he committed to it in writing. Next week, a couple of weeks from now, I'm checking on it. Can I see your gi? Do they wear gis? Do they wear gis? I think. Someone tell me, on jiu-jitsu, do they wear, is that what they're called? I only know lab codes. Are they called gis? And what do you start with, the white belt? Yeah. What do you start with, the white belt? Tell me what you start with. Which one do you start with, Megasis? A white belt? We're going to check him out. In a couple of weeks, I want to see your white belt. Is that which one it is? See, Unrested knows. Where did that come from? Pops, I don't even know this stuff. It's popping out of my head. Okay. White belt and a gi. Creative guy. I love it. Thank you for sharing that with us, Isaac. When you guys see Isaac, ask him for one of his karate chops or whatever they do. Okay? Winning cuisine. I totally agree, JT. I love Oriental disciplines. When Pops was young, 2 years, I was into Kung Fu. Kung Fu guy. Holding the crane position, stuff like that. When I was young. Beautiful stuff. The most amazing master. And we were learning it in the guy's garage because they really didn't have studios like that back in the 70s. So, and Kung Fu was a big deal. If you guys remember that TV show with David Carradine when he was the monk, the cowboy monk, we all wanted to be him. Everybody wanted to be him. Walking around, he's got his bedroll on his back. That's all he's got. Barefoot walking through the cactus deserts. Remember? Oh, and then Bruce Lee too, of course. Who didn't want to be Bruce? See? Hapkido, that's neat. Right? True Heart says, yes, they did, because I took classes for a year. Everyone did. If you were a kid, like a young man in the 70s, you were like Kung Fu guy. Okay? You had to be Mr. Kung Fu. You had to give it a shot. And I never regret 1 second of it. I really wish I had kept it up. Megan says, have a great day. Glenn, nice to see you. Terry says, Highlander. Kristen says, everybody was kung fu fighting. I want to read two quick little notes to you, and then we're gonna study today. After we explain the jars, we're gonna study today. Winning cuisine. True Heart, you're right. In the 70s, it was just too cool. And the girls had the big Farrah Fawcett wing hair, and the guys, we all had lapels so wide you could land airplanes on them. It was cool. Small airplane. Winning cuisine. If an army travels on its stomach, the United States rode to victory in World War II on Spam. Yes, Spam. The ubiquitous canned meat product made from pork shoulder and ham. Invented in 1937 by the Hormel Food Corporation, Spam hit its culinary stride when the war began. As a substitute for rationed beef. Because it didn't need refrigeration, it was ideal for feeding troops. And they ate more than 100 million pounds of it. Spam was also fodder for GI humor. It was called meatloaf, without basic training. The ham that didn't pass the physical. The reason that war is hell. But Spam was a lifesaver for countries whose food supplies had been pinched by the war. Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev once stated that without Spam, the Russian army would have starved. And it fries up so much better than caviar. Was that interesting? Give me 5 people said that was interesting. I want to read. I'm going to do another historical rando. You guys want to know another historical rando? I'll take an apple, Cinnamon Girl says. That was pretty interesting. Who knows about Spam? I didn't even know it was pork shoulder. I didn't know what was in it. I hate it. It's the worst thing in the world. I'm going to tell you guys something. Roast Spam is always fascinating. Shush. Okay, Rose Monroe. Who the heck was Rose Monroe? Does anybody know who Rose Monroe was? Who was Rose Monroe? Do you think Pops is reading? Yeah, it's like, this is interesting. I got to tell the kids. Spam and Rose Monroe came around about the same time. About the same time. Rose Monroe. She's related to Marilyn. No, it's not a girl. No. Okay? Don't forget that I think that Marilyn Monroe wasn't even her real name. Okay? Rose Monroe is a classic case of life imitates art, imitates life. Abraham, you're right. Good job. You're right. Early on in World War II, the government started propaganda campaigns to get the women involved in the war effort. One such campaign was built around a poster with an attractive and well-muscled bandana-wearing woman named Rosie the Riveter. There was even a popular song to go along with it. But Rosie was a fictional character until actor Walter Pidgeon visited an aircraft plant in Ypsilanti, Michigan, to make a short film promoting war bonds. There he met a young widow named Rose Monroe, who was riveting planes to support a family. Pidgeon signed her up to be in the film, and she became an inspiration for millions of women entering the workforce for the first time. Born in 1920 in Kentucky, Monroe went to work after her husband died in a car accident. After the war, Monroe drove a cab, owned a beauty shop, started a construction company, and earned a police license. She died in 1997, still an inspiration to new generations of working women. I have a crush on Rosie the Riveter. How hot is she? That's really cool, huh, you guys? That's really cool. Rosie the Riveter. Everybody's heard of her. Rosie the Riveter. Okay? And then after the war, gosh darn, what a career. What a, wow. Wowie, wow, wow. Reminds me of my grandma. My grandma welded. My grandmother in World War II was helping build the ships, and she was small. They put the ladies, they taught ladies how to weld, and they'd stuff them into the tough areas to reach, laying on their back and welding. You're talking women welders putting those ships together that helped win the war. True story. My grandma, she wasn't a riveter, she was a welder. She learned how to weld. She gets out of the war. What's she do? She has a couple of bucks when the war is over. They buy property. Smart. Smart. Bought property in Santa Monica and started wheeling and dealing. Yeah. Hardworking people. She came to Santa Monica from Colorado in the war because there was no work there. But in Santa Monica, they were building Long Beach. They were building ships. Yeah. That's what was happening, Trippy Vicky. Women literally, they could stuff them into areas that men couldn't get into. And women can weld because they pay attention to detail. They have extreme skills on detail. Isn't that neat? Isn't that neat? She has an old-fashioned name, too. Bernice. Isn't that an old name? Bernice. I love my Bernice. She was quite an inspiration. You know what? I don't know how to weld. I don't know how to weld. I've never welded. My brother could put a race car together. He could weld it. The roll bar cage. He's amazing. I never touched a welder in my life. I'm feeling like I should do that. Top 100 dance songs. I picked 10 off of the list. You're going to pick one of the 10 I picked. Top 10. Thank you, Simmergo. Top 10. Melting Metal is pretty exciting. Give me, I picked, these are dance songs. Top 10 dance songs of all time. Macarena, Dancing in the Streets. Lee Burdick, hello, Lee. Lee, I need your address. I have to send you that. Saturday Night Fever, Pump the Jam. I Can Do Farmer Welds. I just don't look good until after I get really bad. I've never welded anything. I feel bad. Bazgasm, Macarena, What Is Love, Push It, Brick House, Pump Up the Jam, Into the Groove, We Are Family. Let's see. I'm Michael Jackson. I want to dance with somebody. Move for me. Thrilly. We Like to Party. Thriller. Macarena. Barbie. The Twist. Kung Fu Fighting. Night Fever. Staying Alive. Thriller. Can't Touch This. Get Lucky. Watermelon Crawl. Billy Jean. Twist and Shout. Dancing Queen. Gonna Make You Sweat. Boom. Wait. Dancing Queen. Satyr Wolf. That was it. Satyr. Kill it. Satyr. Dancing Queen. Why wouldn't I pick a song, a dance song that has the word dance in it? Hello? Here's the top 9 that they have on the list. You guys ready? You guys ready for the top 9 dance songs of all time? How come nobody said YMCA? How come none of you guys said YMCA? Are you disappointed that you didn't think YMCA? Because that's number 1. I couldn't even put that on because I thought 50 of you would say it. Okay? YMCA. Next one is Night Fever. Oh, someone did say it. Okay, RX. Next one, Dancing Queen. That's the one we picked. Next one, I'm So Excited by the Pointer Sisters. Next one, We Are Family by Sister Sledge. Next one, The Hustle by Van McCoy. Next, I Will Survive, Gloria Gaynor. Next, Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself, Sly and Family Stone. Satyr, you want a nice box. Let's read your affirmation to you, okay? This is just considered. I see somebody say, no, that's disco. I'm just reading a list that says dance songs. So we're going for it. I prosper wherever I turn. I now see opportunities for abundance. Everywhere I can, I am blessed and prospered. Hold on to that. Hold on to that, Satter. Okay? Satter, also, I'm going to need you to send me your address here. Jeff, did you hear what Jeff said? Every one of those songs are exactly why I stand at the bar during wedding receptions. That's why I try to go fishing, Jeff. That's why and we don't put that kind of music on a fishing boat. Okay, that's exactly why I'm fishing. They're at the dance thing, whatever, that ball's going on. I don't care. Let me drop a line. That's exactly why I'm at the bar. That's funny. You get a Pops pack. You get a Pops pack coming, boy. You get a whole bunch of these. Woo! Woo! And I think you should go ahead and get a cinnamon. No, I'm not. It's not cinnamon. Supplement in a peach. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nice box, pal. So, good answers, by the way. You had very good answers. You guys all had good answers. I'm sure it's subjective, the whole genre thing. They can cross over, all of that. But I'm just going off of lists we see here, guys. Okay? I'm no music critic. I'm just trying to have fun. So if the lists are a little off, bear with whatever we found on Google. Okay? Saturn. That's for you. What are the jars? What are the jars? Are you guys having a good time today? Are you guys having a good time today? Things are moving fast today. Pops hasn't been sitting around just talking and gabbing. We're moving through it. We've gotten rando informations. We're learning all kinds of stuff. We're going to show you new things. Come on. We're flying through it this morning. So, what in the jar is going on around here? Well, a couple of weeks, it's been a while. I taught Brock this small little trick, okay? Here's what we do often. When our jars, if we're going to take our spawn and put it in a mound tech, if we're going to do that, then we hydrate our spawn in the jar before we take it out of the jar. We soak it in the jar, okay? So that's what this is. He was going to make a mound, and he soaks it in the jar. No problem. Well, there's stacks and stacks of jars down in the lab. Go figure. And a couple of the jars that he had soaked. Now, mind you, when you put your water in, what happens is the spawn is cork. It's virtually cork. It's going to swell a little bit. This isn't mycelium peat. That's not what this is. That's water. It's got a little bit of the runoff from the spawn, but that's actually the water that we soaked it in, okay? When we do put it in the mound, you have to break it up a little just to get it out of the jar, okay? But then we put it back together in a compact pile in the mound, okay? But here's where I'm going with this. Usually you only need to pour your water in here, wait about an hour. After about an hour, your spawn's completely saturated. It's the same thing as if you'd have taken it out of the BRF cakes, take it out and dunk it and let it soak around. It's the same thing, but it's easier to do inside the jar, and we kind of like this tech. So, technically, we should have put this in there for about an hour. The longer the water sits with the spawn, the more swollen the spawn becomes. And pretty soon it actually becomes a cork. It actually clogs. I'll give you an example. 1 second. Where you would think, okay, we should be able to drain that out. It's literally a cork holding it all in. Now that's neat. It's kind of a cool trick. It all looks cool. But at a certain point, you actually oversaturated the spawn. It actually got more water than it needed. And now it's going to be much more difficult to get it out of the jar, right? So it's simply a mistake in terms of, oops, we put it in there. We should have drained it out after an hour. It's been in there for 2 weeks. So sometimes lab accidents turn into amazing experiments. Don't give up on them. Brock didn't give up on this one, okay? This has been soaking for 2 weeks, at least. How long? Brock's saying closer to a month. Closer to a month that this has been soaking like this. And as a result, it started growing on itself. It's pinning everywhere. It's fruiting out the top. And it was doing this when he found it and it was sealed. So I said, let's take it out and put it inside one of these trays, the two of them. Take the lid off and let's watch it fruit out. Because it's going to be, we'll break it up and kill everything going on there. So in the meantime, we'll just have this cool looking thing, but it's a kind of a lab accident. But we're going to turn it into an amazing experiment. Right? We have that one. And it's just fascinating, the fruiting that's going on. Yeah, Terry, these things want to live. Okay? So we've got these set to the side, and we're just going to track these. Look at that. Heidi, I will keep it posted. I will. We'll show these. Here's the other one. This one's fruiting really neatly. Now this is a Trinity, so it's both are Trinity. Huh? No, they're Trinity. Yeah, they're Trinity. And you could just see it pinning everywhere. Side pins, which suck. Which this just proves the reason for a liner. Because if this was all dark, matter of fact, we could do that. Put a black bag around this. So all of the fruiting effort would go out the top. We might do that. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys that. Brock's killing it when he's got all kinds of stuff going on. And that one, give me 10 people that said that was cool. That was interesting. Yeah, that's what we're here for. That was our mushroom class for today. Okay? That was our mushroom class for today. Between that and my telling you either this wasn't broken up correctly or shouldn't have been broken up at all. Just an example of another thing not gone perfectly. Brock's growing boulders. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And so you guys can do that too. You guys can do that too. If you have an extra jar of spawn, fill it with water. Watch the water filter through it. Your spawn will literally float up inside of the water. It's going to turn into a little cork. It's going to release itself from the bottom of the jar. Go boop. It's going to float up. Okay? And then let it soak there. And just set it off to the, in one of your fruiting tents, off to the back corner of a fruiting tent, and just forget about it. It's well worth the fun and the knowledge that you're going to get from it. Okay? That would be wonderful. Your mom would be welcome. We're setting up for spring and summer Saturdays here at the Mush Lab for students. So on scheduled. And Brock's bringing in from the side camera. I'm going to add this to the final box. His 5 bombs. What are these, half a gram each?
Yeah, those are half gram Stingray, Pink Buffalo, I call them Freds.
These are called Freds, okay? He calls these Freds. I don't know why, but they're Pink Buffalo and Stingray combo, half a gram each. We bought this in the last box, okay? Calls them Freds. What the heck is a Fred? Yeah, but I'd like to get a Fred, please. Okay. What? Ah. Who gets a Fred? So you said something about dye toys. I've done that before, by the way. On the soak, I've put in colored water, food colored watering to see if it would change. Like, say maybe the fruit would get a color to them or something like that. It doesn't. The colored water, I've never been able to get the colored water to impact the fruit. The mycelium stays white and it's just strong. And then you get the fruit that the strain is. So I tried that on a couple of experiments to see if I could use colored water to make a difference. We're gonna finish up today for about 10 minutes and then do our final giveaway and the untethered soul. We have been killing it this morning, passing knowledge all over the place. Yeah, that was rough. Rough playing over there. Okay, Fred's just an innocent guy down the street and pow, he gets you. It's like, wait. That's what Fred is. Fred, you better settle down. Okay. Ultimately, if you protect yourself perfectly, you'll never grow. Remember that? You don't want to protect yourself. You want to be open. If you really want to grow, you have to do the opposite. Real spiritual growth happens when there's only one of you inside. There's not a part that's scared and another part that's protecting the part that's scared. No. That's not growth. All parts need to be unified, centered and aware. Because there is no part of you that you're not willing to see. The mind is no longer divided into the conscious and subconscious. Let me repeat that. When you reach the point where there's not a part of me I'm not willing to see, and I've reached that a long time ago, actually. Like, look deep and go, I see my flaws. I recognize them. I know them. Some I'm going to live with. Some I'm going to keep. It's a flaw. I'll never get perfect. That's not where I want to focus, is getting perfect. But if there's something inside me that needs to be fixed, I know it too. That I'll work on. That I'll spend time on. Everything you see inside you is just something you see inside. It's not you. It's what you see. There is simply the pure energy pouring inside of you that creates the ripples of thoughts and emotions. And there's consciousness to be aware of it. There is simply you watching the dance of the psyche. That was very transparent of you, Sandy. In order to reach this state of awareness, you must let your entire psyche surface. Every little separated piece of it must be permitted to pass through. Right now, many fragmented parts of your psyche are held within you. If you want to be free, it all has to be equally exposed to your awareness and relaxed. Earlier, somebody said knowledge is power. It's a good statement. I've replaced that statement to say knowledge is freedom. The more I know, the more I'm free, and the more I'm free to know. The more I know, the more I'm capable of being more and more aware. So I teach myself all the time. Because the more I know, the freer I get. I don't get stronger. I don't get more powerful. I get freer. All through me. And it's a semantic. It's not a debate. It's just the way I perceive my gathering of knowledge is to gain more freedom. You will never get exposed if you're closing yourself. After all, the purpose of closing was to make sure that the sensitive parts of you didn't get exposed. Right? You were turtling up about something. You were doing the normal thing. But we're not normal. We're seeking higher consciousness. So you catch on that no matter how much pain the exposure creates, you're willing to pay that price for freedom. So you catch on, it says. So you gain knowledge. So you gain knowledge that no matter how much pain the exposure creates, you're willing to pay that price for freedom. Not power, freedom. And when I'm free to be kind. Love is more apparent always when I'm free. It flows. When you are no longer willing to identify with the part of you that is separating itself into a million pieces, you are really ready for growth. Can I talk about this for 5 more minutes with you guys? A couple more paragraphs? Anybody getting bored by this? Knowledge is wealth, Kenny. However you measure wealth. Everybody has a different measuring stick for wealth. Can I go on for about 5 more minutes? We have a little bit of time here. We're just covered so much today. Good, thank you. Begin by seeing the tendency to protect and defend yourself. When you start protecting yourself, when you start defending yourself, notice it. Become very aware of that. I do it. Somebody attacks me. Oh, okay, I feel it. I gotta let that go. I won't reply. If I do, it's going to be with goodness and kindness. I'm not getting involved in that. That's not the old pops. The old pops can throw with the best of them. The best of them. With a temper that was out of control. I'll tell you guys a story. A pop story. I'm 28, 29 years old. Oh, I'm on top of the world. I'm the hottest thing going. Flying planes, dealing cocaine, out of control. I got the nicest truck in town. Beautiful truck. With one of those tonneau covers on the back. Who wants to hear this story? Who wants to hear this story? Bad pops. Bad pops. We go skiing, myself and my brother. Okay? We go skiing. They got all the skiing gear, all the fancy. Have a wonderful day on the slopes. Get down off the slopes. This is in Big Bear, California. We get down off the slopes, got our gear, carrying it back to the parking lot. The car parked next to me, next to my truck. There was a young guy, early 20s himself, tall, big kid. And his girlfriend, looked like a girlfriend. And they had a big Lincoln Continental, brand new Lincoln Continental. Brand new looking car. Right next to my brand new truck. But he had taken all of his ski gear and he put it on the back of my truck, on the tonneau cover of my truck. So I'm walking up and I see this skis, poles, boots, jackets, all this stuff on the back of my truck instead of him putting it on the ground or putting it wherever he was supposed to put it in his car. And I'm like, I'm incensed. I can feel it now as I talk about it. I can bring up those angers right now when I go back. I'm like, what the? Who does that? And I walked up. First minute, I go, is that your gear on the back of my truck? Turns around, gives me a, yeah, what's it, what? What are you gonna, gives me a smart ass reply like, what are you gonna do about it? Well, Pops is a chihuahua. Quite a chihuahua. Up in his face. I, I'll show you what I'm gonna do about it. I'll show you what I'm gonna do about it. I take his gear and I slung it down the parking lot. And there's a slant to the parking lot. His skis, his boots, everything had taken off down the hill. Right, scattered through made a yard sale, crap all over the place. Boom, threw his stuff everywhere. And now I've got him backed up next to his car. I go, that's what I'm gonna do about it. I go, now you get in your mommy's car and you get out of here. He gave me a little more lip. I pulled him out of the car. Long story short, I made him go around the car and apologize to his girlfriend for being an ass in the parking lot. I made him come back around and tell me he was sorry, sir. All kinds of stuff. I ran him through a whole gamut of pissed Pops. Running him around. My brother, he hasn't said one peep of a word. And I'm thinking to myself, my brother's going to think his brother, little brother, is crazy. But I don't care. The whole thing's rumbling through me. Rumbling through me. I want to wipe the guy out. Anyways, I humiliated him beyond humiliated. We get in the car and we're driving away. My brother still hasn't said anything. Now I'm really quiet. Okay. We're on the canyon road driving down. This is about 3 miles later. And finally, my brother turns to me and goes, we have to go back there. And I looked at him and I go, what? His first word he said to me the whole time was, we have to go back there. And I'm thinking, go back and apologize. Go back. I ain't doing it, but I haven't said this yet. I go, what do you mean we have to go back there? He goes, we need to bring that guy a roll of toilet paper. We laughed all the way down the canyon. To this day, it's one of the funniest stories. I went from, why I told this story is its emotions. I went from the angriest I could beat somebody to death with a ski to laughing for an hour and a half all the way home. That's what my brother turned it into with one simple little change of the situation. And my accepting it differently. And now I know the depth of my anger. You could literally, Pops, you could have been so angry you could have beat a guy to death with his ski because he put it on the back of your truck. Now I know when I feel it. I like my brother too, he's like a brilliant man. He's a leader. He let me go through all of that. Go through it all. Experience every ounce of it. And then laughed our way home. So that's a funny story. But you know that anger pretty well too, don't you, Satter? We know when it's coming now. Man, if I could go there, and I can touch it still today, that's the only reason I told this story. And also to realize you can switch out of it so fast. How you could go from, I'm still seething and wondering what brother is thinking, and toilet paper changed the game. Or did it? Begin by seeing the tendency to protect and defend yourself. There's a very deep, innate tendency to close, especially around your soft spots, your angry stuff. But eventually you will notice that closing creates tremendous work. Once you close, you have to make sure that what you protected doesn't get disturbed. You then carry this task for the rest of your life. The alternative is to become conscious enough to simply watch the part of you that you're trying to constantly protect. You can give yourself the ultimate gift by deciding not to do that anymore. You decide instead to get rid of that part. Pops couldn't get angry at an ant today. Not even kidding. I can't even get angry at an ant. I've lost it. Thank goodness. It's gone away. I can touch memories of when I was super angry, but I can't, I don't go there. My soul is healed. I mean that. I claim it. I don't get angry. Not like that. Final giveaway? Let's do it. What a beautiful day this morning. Sorry, give me 1 second. I like the peaceful endings like these. All of these are easy. Give me 1 second. I'm find one that Abraham can't get on one. I dated Madonna. Who am I? I dated Madonna. Who am I? That's good, Green. Fighter who learned how to love. I dated Madonna. Who am I? Sean Penn. No. Sean Penn, no. Sean Penn, no. Shawnee Penn, Shawnee Penn, Shawnee Penn, Dennis Rodman. Who didn't? Wrong, Ben. You're wrong. I dated Madonna. Richie. Gavin Rosedale, Tupac. Mr. Phillips, kill it. Mr. Phillips, Mr. Phillips. I like seeing someone new. Mr. Phillips already got it. Tupac. I didn't know Tupac dated Madonna. Mr. Phillips, I want to show you what you won. Hold on, you have a very, very nice box. Hold, please. Perfect timing. I am the first artist to have a #1 hit while in prison. I didn't know that. I was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I dated Madonna. One of my #1 hits was Old School. One of my first stage names was Machiavelli. I didn't know that. And I was murdered at the age of 25. Not fair. Not fair at all. You're getting an affirmation card. Let me read it to you. My healing is already in progress. My willingness to forgive begins my healing process. I allow the love from me cleansing and healing everybody. I know I am worth healing. Oh, yes, you are. Get me your address here, please. Send me your address here, Mr. Phillips, please. You're getting a Pops pack, but then Brock threw in these Freds. So look at that, you're killing it. You got a Brock pack and Freds, and we're also giving you this pack. So not bad for a Tuesday. What do you guys say? Give me 5 people say not bad for a Tuesday, and scroll me out of here. Mr. Phillips, give me your address. Thank you for being here, everybody. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful, I knew it was going to start out beautiful. It started out beautiful, and it's ending just as good. Okay? We learned a lot today. We did a whole lot. Mr. Phillips, you get me that information. We got a whole lot done. We learned rando history facts about spam and Rose Monroe, and we learned radical mycology stuff. We saw new ideas in the jar. We read out of Untethered Soul. We hung out. This was a very, very productive morning. You guys have a beautiful day. Was it productive because I was wearing a hat and I didn't spend any time on my hairdo today? Or am I wearing this because I'm not going to go see the mail lady today? Which is it? Talk to you later. Have a good day, you guys. Have a beautiful day. Cinnamon Girl and Kelly and Beth and Sloan Normals, not too shabby. Rebel Rob and Slingy and Mushmouth and Benny Thrift, the funny man. True Heart, you're all awesome. Unrested and Sadder and Benny. Scroll me out, everybody. Say goodbye. RX Numa, Aaron. Bethy Beth, Jesus Christ, what a nice day it was. Kimberly, Trueheart, great comments today. Jenny Max, Neophyte, Rob, there you are. Badger and Tatty Tad, Mr. Phillips, thanks to you two. Brookie Dean, pretty girl. Jeff Coleman, save that for mail day. Exactly. Good day, Pops, Natty, Moms, and Trip and Vic, and Smoldy, and Coop, and Kimby, and Kelly, and Kelly, and Jackie Cat, and Kelly, and Ladrand. Ladrand, hello. Love you too, Miss Amanda. Cinnamon Girl, and Beth, and Teeny, and Slow. And you'll fight, I caught you all. Slow Normals, Pops Peace. How do I do it so fast? I'm like, should I be an auctioneer? Have a good day, Todd, Jesus Christ, and Sandman. Have a beautiful day.